And ladies and gentlemen, Michael Skovich with Paychex One Source Solutions here in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. Just wanted to do a short video regarding a couple things that I'm seeing that are arising in the industry, a little bit more so recently than in the past. Number one being service issues. Obviously service is always important. It's always been important. But what I'm seeing lately is a lot of our competitors are going in and maybe not doing a very great job or very good job of service with their clients, and the client of course brings us in or maybe other vendors to evaluate, to do comparisons, and the current vendor is actually catching wind of this and saying, okay, well listen, here's what we're going to do. We're going to lock you in on a discounted price, or we're going to offer you free payroll or free time and attendance or HR services for a specific period of time. Couple big concerns for me is, number one, they should be doing a good enough job on service that they shouldn't have to worry about coming in and offering a significant discount. I mean, I understand in this economy sometimes you want to look to cut your costs as much as possible, and we'll potentially work with some of our clients if that's the case, but we like to take the stance that we're going to do a good enough job, a satisfactory job to keep our clients happy. So we don't even need to get into offering these off-the-wall, sometimes off-the-wall discounts to keep someone happy and keep them on board. But maybe a bigger and even more important part of this is that you should not, in this industry and outsourcing, especially with payroll outsourcing, time and attendance, HR, obviously there are some variables in there, but in general, you should not be locked into a contract. And what I mean by that is it should be a service-based contract in that you literally can leave at any time. You're billed as you process, whether it's weekly, bi-weekly, monthly, whatever your stance is. Be billed along those lines. You should not have to worry about being locked into a long-term contract. What I'm seeing specifically, for an example, is that if I'm working with company A and they're working with vendor X, what I'm seeing is I call company A, I say, hey, I'm looking to give you a comparison as to the way you're doing things today. Do you have some time in your calendar? I go out and meet with company A, they really like what they have to hear, we do a full demonstration and they really get more interested. I propose pricing to them, and now company X, their vendor, catches wind of this and says, well, wait, please don't leave us, we'll give you 6 months free payroll and we'll lock you in at a steep discount for the next 3 years. What we're seeing is sometimes they're being notified or they're not being notified that there's a 3-year price lock. And what that means is, in some cases, is that sure, you sign up for a 3-year price lock, that's great for you as a client, but if you leave within those 3 years, you have to pay a penalty. There should not be any prepayment penalty of any sorts in this industry in terms of what you're doing, unless you're doing something customized. I understand that's one thing. But if you're outsourcing through a web hosting service or something of nature, in my opinion, you should not deal with that. And with Paychex, you don't deal with that. When you sign with us, you're literally payroll to payroll or process to process, depending on the scenario or the setting. And we ask for a 30-day heads up if you have to leave, but we truly believe that our service model, our solution set, does a good enough job to keep you satisfied, so you're not even worried about leaving at any time, or that you're worried about getting some crazy discount. Now again, there are situations where you are acquired. We understand that you may be bought out, and we don't want to make it more difficult if you have to leave, so there's no prepayment penalty of any sort. So just please keep that in the back of your mind if you are in the evaluation process of bringing somebody else in or just seeing how your current vendor is doing for you. And if you are in that evaluation process, do not hesitate to call me. I'd be happy to come out and just give you a side-by-side comparison, let you know how we stack up compared to your current vendor. Maybe we can help you, maybe we can't, but at least you'll get that honest opinion, that honest professional outlook as to the way you're doing things. And again, we try not to look or handle as a typical salesperson. We look at it ourselves as more of a consultative role, so to speak. Lastly, Act 32 for you Pennsylvania-based companies and organizations, profit or nonprofit. How are things going with your Act 32? Is your current vendor on top of things? I'd love to hear some feedback, and if there's any issues you're still having. We're at the end of February, coming up on March here, 2 months into the new calendar year. You should not be having big issues with your Act 32. Let me know if you are. I'd be happy to come out and share with you how we're different, and the way that we're doing things differently, and the way that our service model, again, a dedicated customer service representative, is different from what some of our competitors are doing. So again, if you have any questions, check the bottom or the information of this email outlook, or this blast I should say. Let me know what questions you have. Do not hesitate to call me, email me, whatever's best for you. Let me know. I appreciate it, and you know, as always, I appreciate your time, and I look forward to talking with you soon. Take care.